We are recording on the official Earth Day, the 22nd of April 2013. And we're going to see some photos from World Peace Wetland Prairie's 9th celebration of Earth Day, started in 2005. And we'll actually be mentioning a few names, but let you run through it. I bet everybody can guess. That's Mayor Lionel Jordan. He was out on Pinnacle Wet Prairie, which is adjacent on the west to World Peace Wetland Prairie, part of the same wonderful land. And there's Joanna Pollock and Don Bennett and the mayor. There's the mayor greeting another lady who told him she voted for him because one of her friends told her how good a man he was. I thought that was an interesting conversation. She'd never met him before. Okay, there is Dick Bennett talking to one of his old friends out at World Peace Wetland Prairie. Dick, of course, is one of the founders. He donated a fifth of the money it was required to buy the land to create World Peace Wetland Prairie. And that gentleman had a beautiful baby with him. And finally, after a while, that lady you saw at the first there, talking to Lionel, started carrying the baby and taking care of her so he could get around and talk to other people. Well, there's Rhiannon with John Rule. She's showing him a not a basketball, but an actual cannonball from Civil War era, apparently. And that's in the center. Jennifer Creel, that's her house in the background, right across the street from World Peace Wetland Prairie. And she, of course, and her family and friends worked hard with us to create the World Peace Wetland Prairie. And there's another neighbor talking to the mayor. That's Mike Odom. And he's been there, I guess, every year. And some years has some of his children there, and they always enjoyed it from the tiny, tiny days of their lives. And that's a couple of the ladies there showing some of the material on display. Many things on display at Earth Day, of course, every year. And there you see, well, you recognize these people when they get closer. That was Lindsley Smith and Steve, and they rode bicycles over there, which not nearly enough people did. There were a lot of cars up and down the street, but a few did take advantage of pretty weather and come out on their bicycles. Well, we'll see more later in the week or so of the band there that was still on the hill, and we'll try to have some of their music on the air. And there, Lindsley Smith is talking to Gladys Tiffany, the executive director, I think now she's called, of Omni Center. And there are some of the neighbors and friends of World Peace Wetland Prairie taking some of those invasive things out of the butterfly garden. And Jennifer's up there leading the charge because it's across the street from her house, and she loves seeing beautiful things there. And we hope to have some seed in there, some native wildflower seeds added in this year, and make it even more beautiful than it has been in some past years. That's Lauren Hawkins wearing that interesting costume. I won't try to tell you what it is, but anyhow, you can see the music was just getting started. I think the only photos I selected today, there's Steve Smith and Dick Bennett. Only photos I selected were from the first few minutes, and certainly less than the first hour of the 4-hour event on Sunday, the 20th. That's Rhiannon and friend, and the white decorations you see, that's part of an old costume Lauren Hawkins wore as Peace Chicken in the San Francisco Bay Area way back in the day. So, as usual, at least one of my photos totally failed. Till next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and celebrate Earth Day every day. See ya. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd, and it's the 25th of April, 2013, and I have way too many pictures this week. Made more than 1,000 on Earth Day weekend, so I just no way to selecting the best for this show. Okay, this is from the Earth Day activities up at the university on the 22nd, and you see some of the different groups who participated. That's Crop Science Lady and so forth. Arkansas Water Resources Center, just a good group. There's a man, Mike Faupel at Wright, who was Sierra Club national representative here in Fayetteville years ago, as well as in other states. And that's the trestle work continues to get over to the tunnel for the Salagi Trail. Okay, the insects are out this week. Last night it was so cold they weren't moving, but they will be for the rest of the year, I guess now. And these pictures are from World Peace Wetland Prairie, and of course everybody's got irises and lilies and such, and that's I don't know the name of that thing. Anyway, it's growing out at the front of World Peace Wetland Prairie, and I won't even begin to talk about its status, where it's originated and so forth, but it's quite pretty right now. That, of course, is a spiderwort with a honeybee. Well, I'm more interested in the native bees and the flower flies that do bee work than honeybees that are a non-native species, but they're very important. This was a strange thing that cropped up on TV on, it was Wednesday night, and it was Cox Cable could drop Channel 5. Subscribers should contact Cox. Well, I think there's some contract dispute going on. This plant is called Amsonia Shining Blue Star, and there the buds are almost open, and you saw one that was open. And these are a beautiful wetland plant. They grow down in stream sides and ditches and wetland areas in general. So it's one of the great things at World Peace Wetland Prairie. And we don't have a lot of them there, but we've got just enough to get pictures every year for several years. Okay, the Come and Go store is going to be on the site of the old Mexican original plant soon. And this was one of the days about a week ago when they were tearing the place apart. And it's quite different today, I bet, if you go out there. They've really done a fast job, and they had a contract with the city. They get to keep the material and the privilege of doing the work, and it's relatively inexpensive for the city. So it was a pretty smart move of the officials doing the planting there. This is native planting area at Wilson Park, and these are a lot of Sierra sempervirens, as I show you all the time, except these folks at the park, great horticulturists out there that work for the city, and they have these things cut down. It's a cultivar plant, as you saw the little sign there, but it's still the same thing basically. It's just been, here's the name. It's the Magnifica, and it's a different, slightly different cultivated variety. But they've got to grow and low to the ground, and you see mine when I show them to you. Normally way up high, way up tall, climbing way up. But anyhow, they're neat however you find them. I can see some differences from the cultivar, but not a lot, and they're amazingly beautiful. That's a yellow violet, and I had to show that again this week. So until next time, this is Aubrey Shepherd asking you to do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, and the woods green. And maybe we'll do something from the square again next week.